you guys. Hi, friends. I just wanted to send out a quick little video because I realize it's been a minute since I've sent anything out to you guys. And even though right now we're not having our group per se during the summer, we kind of paused for Bible study and stuff. I wanted to just send out an encouragement to you guys. It's something that actually the Lord put on my heart a couple weeks ago, and was just something that he was personally ministering to me, and I wanted to share it with you guys and send it out to you guys too. So it's going to be super quick. It's actually found in Psalm 23, which is a familiar passage to some. It begins with "The Lord is my shepherd," but it's really just one verse in particular that the Lord was really highlighting to me, really ministering to me. So I wanted to share it with you guys too. It's actually Psalm 23 verse 4, where David says, "Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me." So when David is saying, "I will not be afraid," it has nothing to do with the absence of darkness. That's not his reason for not being afraid, is not the lack of darkness. In fact, he says, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley," i.e. the most painful valley, the most wearisome valley, the most lonely valley imaginable, the valley that I thought was going to swallow me up and chew me up and spit me out, that very valley, even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid. That is what David is declaring. And in the last part of the verse, he tells us why. He tells us why he's not going to be afraid. He says, "For you are close beside me." For you are close beside me. Because God is close to David, that is the reason why he is saying, "I will not be afraid." He's not saying, "Because you helped me go around the valley," or "because you prevented the valley from being a part of my story." No, that's not what he's saying. He says, even when I walk through the darkest valley, I'm not going to be afraid, because Lord, you are close beside me. And the reason why I wanted to share that with you guys is because I was reading that a couple weeks ago, and the Lord just kind of spoke so clearly to me that so often lately, and just so often in life, I find myself acknowledging the darkness of the valley instead of acknowledging the closeness of my God. I'm going to say that one more time. I so often find myself acknowledging the darkness of the valley instead of acknowledging the closeness of my God. And I think sometimes we think that in our relationship, in our walks with the Lord, that we have to like pretend that those bad things aren't happening, or we have to sort of just push them aside. But that's not the case, because David in this passage, he's acknowledging the valley. He's acknowledging that it's the darkest valley. He's not pretending that that's not there. He states at the very beginning that he is walking through the darkest of valleys. But then he is speaking truth to that place, that he's not going to be afraid there because God is close beside him. And I don't know where each of you are at today. If you feel as though you are experiencing walking through the darkest of valleys, if maybe you're just kind of in a mundane season and a mundane moment, just kind of going through the motions, or maybe you don't, you're not experiencing the closeness of God, or he doesn't feel close. I just want to encourage you that whether you're there, or whether you're whether you just want to be closer to him, that he is close beside you in those times, in those valleys. He's right there with us, and sometimes what we need to do is just acknowledge that he is close beside us. Lord, even when I don't feel it, I am aware that you are close beside me. Even when I can't see it, even when all I see around me is this valley, which is very dark, which makes it hard to see. I'm going to choose to acknowledge that you are close beside me. See, that's kind of what the Lord's been ministering to me. I found myself so often being like, Lord, what about this darkness and that darkness? And I'm bringing things up, but I'm not bringing them to him. Like I'm telling him about them, which is good, but not necessarily laying those things down at his feet and then choosing to speak truth to my soul. And so I just want to encourage you guys out there today to continue to acknowledge the closeness of our God. You don't have to pretend that the darkness isn't there. You don't have to pretend that the fear isn't there. You don't have to pretend that these things in life aren't going on. But it's choosing to acknowledge his closeness above all else, above everything else that's going on. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, let you know that I love you all so much. I miss you. I'm going to have more details coming out about Bible study coming up in the fall and all of that. But before any of that happens, just wanted to share that with you guys. Know that I'm praying for you. I love you all so much, and we will be in touch very soon.